Welcome to Yoga with Sisters at Stray. So this is week 1, it's 30-minute flow, and we want you to try to do this at least every day. If you can't do it every day, then alternate it with your other week 1 workout. And this one is super great to use when you're winding down to go to sleep at night, so you can use it in your nighttime routine, or it's great for your daytime routine too, because it'll, if you go at it in the morning, it'll start your day with just a lot of balance and energy. So we're gonna get started. Starting in child's pose, your knees will come out wide to the edges of your mat, and begin to walk your fingertips towards the top edge of your mat. So just use this time in the beginning to kind of get grounded, get acquainted with your space, start to settle into these 4 corners. It's just you here on your mat. Try to drop into the present moment. Try to just allow any distracting thoughts to fall away. Just releasing them with your exhales. And try to soften the body. The more relaxed the body, the easier it is to drop into the present moment. So let's begin to take a few really full, deep inhales. So breathing in through the nose, starting at the bottom of the belly, filling up into the lungs, feeling the ribs expand. Moving into the chest, the top of the chest, and holding at the top. Exhale through the nose. Good. Take a couple more rounds of cleansing, purifying breaths. Inhaling through the nose, filling all the way up to the top. And exhaling, releasing every drop of air, again out through the nose. Or you can also practice turning on your Ujjayi breath here. This is your victorious breath. This has been used in yoga for thousands of years to enhance the practice. It's really simple to do. You are still breathing in and out through the nose, but the lips are sealed, and you have a slight constriction in the back of your throat. So you're creating this oceanic sound with your breath now. So if I were to breathe out but my lips were open, it would sound like this. Practice that with your lips sealed, and then keeping that just slight constriction in the back of your throat as you inhale again. So this helps to create heat from within, and this also, it has a balancing effect on the entire nervous system, so with the mind and the body as well. It helps to calm and release any feelings of frustration or irritation. So again, it's perfect to do in the morning. If you have a little anxiety in the morning and you might feel good to get up and just move, this is great to practice in the morning for that. Or if you have, maybe at nighttime you get a little anxious right before nighttime, this is also great to do right before going to bed. Okay, now on your next inhale, rise up to tabletop. So stack your shoulders over your wrists. Your hips are stacked over the knees. So we're going to move through a couple rounds of cat-cow. So inhale for cow. She drops the belly and gaze up. And exhale for cat. She tucks her chin into her chest and pulls the navel up into the spine, so her back is super arched. Inhale again for cow. Soften the elbows and gaze up. And exhale cat. Press the mat away from you. Gaze up at your belly button. So move through a couple more rounds of these. Just taking at the pace of your own breath, your own inhales and exhales. We're warming up the spine. You can take any other organic movements that feel good here. So sometimes swaying your hips, hitting all 4 corners of your mat, going in one direction, and then going in the other direction. That feels good sometimes. Just getting any creaks out in the beginning as we're warming up. Now returning back to neutral tabletop. Inhale, stretch your right arm directly in front of you, and then your left leg extends directly behind you. So your fingertips and your toes are reaching in opposite directions. The core is tucked in. Now exhale, curl your knee to your elbow. So again, the core is pulled in. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, curl. The back arches a bit here again too. Inhale, reach. One more time, exhale, curl. Hug it in. Inhale, reach. And return to neutral tabletop. So we're going to do this again on the other side. So the left arm extends directly in front and right leg directly behind. Inhale as you extend and exhale. exhale, curl and tight. Again, moving through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. One more time, curl. Inhale, reach. Really long, creating space and length throughout the spine. And return to neutral tabletop. All right, from here, we're going to move up into high plank. So when she gets into high plank, she presses up immediately. Her core is engaged, hugged in. She's shooting energy through the backs of her heels. Shoulders are stacked directly over the wrists. And you want the gaze, the spine to be neutral, so the gaze should be just a couple inches in front of your fingertips, in the center of your mat. Now hold for a breath. And exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. So the tailbone goes up and you're pressing your hips back. Spread the fingertips really wide into your mat and press evenly into each finger pad. Relax the head and the neck and just let it hang heavy, shaking it yes and no. Maybe you pedal out your feet, reaching one heel at a time towards your mat. So continue breathing here. Inhale up to your tiptoes. Exhale, bring the knees to hover just a couple inches above the mat. Reach your heart towards your thighs as you inhale. Press back and straighten your legs. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up to the tiptoes. Exhale to hover. Inhale, straighten the legs. Really nice. See how you create space here by doing that. Now inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. And exhale, step the feet behind your wrists. So the feet are at least hip-width distance, if not wider. Invite a generous bend in the knees here, so be easy on your body still, it's still early. Just allow the torso to melt over the thighs. The tailbone again is pointed up. You can grab opposite elbows here, sometimes that feels good, and finding a gentle sway, releasing any tension in the low spine. Or you can interlace your fingers behind your back, find a bind, then just allow the arms to fall away from the back. It's a really nice stretch in the shoulders, and it helps to deepen the bend just a bit too. Begin to shift your weight into the balls of your feet, feeling that really nice stretch in the backs of the legs, so maybe you try straightening one leg at a time now. Yeah, that feels good. And just imagine any of your lingering anxieties or worries or, again, distracting thoughts, just imagine them dripping off the crown of your head, being absorbed into your mat, and making space for fresh, new, positive energy. So, release the fingertips back down to the mat. Begin to toe heel the feet together to touch. Big toes touch, sliver of space between the heels. Now inhale, find a halfway lift. Long neutral spine. So the core is hugged in and the shoulders are pulled back towards your tailbone. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift. So you want to imagine the crown of the head extending forward. So you're creating length in the spine again. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold, release. This time keep a micro bend in the knees. As you inhale, you're going to roll all the way up to the top, vertebra by vertebra. And your head and neck are the last to reach the top. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, mountain pose. So relax the shoulders away from the earlobes, down the back. Release any of that tension here. You want to rotate the pinkies in so they face each other. Core is hugged in tight. You feel grounded and rooted here through all four corners of your feet. So maybe you even take a moment here to visualize roots literally growing into the earth beneath you, keeping grounded here in this present moment and on your mat. And exhale, side body stretch over to the right. You can grab your wrist like Leah's doing here, or you can just keep your right arm by your side. And you want to stay grounded to your mat through the left sole of your left foot here to feel that really nice stretch coming up along the ribs, all the way through the fingertips. Inhale back to center, and exhale, side body stretch over to the left. And staying rooted through the sole of the right foot this time. Really nice. Inhale back to center. And now exhale, back bend. So she's going to goal post her arms and press your hips forward. Squeeze the glutes in so you're protecting the low spine from compressing onto itself. Opening up across the heart. And inhale, return to center. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, long straight spine. And exhale, she's going to plant her palms and step back, coming to high plank on her knees. We're going to move through chaturanga here, high to low plank. So inhale, she's going to hinge forward. And exhale, she lowers only halfway, see how her elbows are hugged in tight. And then inhale, she's going to come up to upward facing dog. And she comes up presses into the tops of her feet here, so her thighs lift away from the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to flow through Sun A together again. So inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, grow tall, mountain pose. Exhale, side body stretch over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, back bend, shine the heart open. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold, hinge of the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, come to high plank from your knees. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, lower only halfway. Your elbows are stacked over your wrists. And inhale, press up, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back, down the back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice work. So flow through Sun A together one more time on your own. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back and flow through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, now we're ready to move on. Inhale, lift your right leg high, coming into three-leg down dog. So you want to point the right hip down towards your mat, so you're squaring your hips still to your mat. And as you exhale, pull your knee to your nose. So hug it into your nose. Inhale, three-leg down dog, send your right leg high. Exhale, this time you're going to pull it all the way through and plant your foot between your palms, coming into low lunge. From here, drop down to your back knee. Interlace your fingers, place them on top of the right knee. So shift your weight into the front foot, into the front right foot, and feel the stretch across your hip crease. So you want to send your tailbone down, and you're still growing tall out through the crown of your head. And you can use your grip here to help press your torso away from your knee, finding a really nice opening. Now inhale, crescent moon, extend the arms up overhead. So she's going to stretch all the way through her fingertips, reaching back. So really challenge yourself and see how far back you can reach. And you're still pressing your chest forward at the same time. As you exhale, bring your fingertips down to your mat and straighten your front leg, coming into half splits. So flex those right toes towards your face. And let the right hip sink down towards your mat. The fingertips are out, they can be up tinted like Leah has hers. And you want to walk your fingertips towards the top edge of your mat like she's doing. So again, creating length through the spine here. Inhale, return to low lunge. And exhale, flow through chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to repeat it again on the left side. So inhale the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose one time. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, pull it all the way through, low lunge. Drop down to the back knee. Interlace the fingers, placing them on top of the left knee, pressing your chest away from your knee. So the tailbone sinks down. So you're really finding a really generous stretch here across the hip crease. Don't be afraid to sink the weight forward, really embracing the stretch. The hips can hold a lot of tension, especially as women here, so it's great to do a lot of hip openers. You know, it helps to sometimes it'll bring up emotions, and it's okay when that happens, so just be gentle on yourself and keep moving, keep breathing. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead, come into crescent moon. And you're stretching all the way through the fingertips. Inhale. And exhale, bring the fingertips down to your mat, straighten the front leg, toes flex towards your face. Just allow that left hip to sink down towards the mat. Extending out through the crown of the head, bringing length throughout the spine. Breathing in to the stretch in the bottom of that leg. One more round of breath. And inhale, return to low lunge. And flow through chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Alright, inhale, right leg high, lead leg down dog. Exhale, come all the way through low lunge. Just going to stay lifted on the ball mound of the back foot this time. Keep the left palm planted into the mat and reach up through the right fingertips rather. So this is low lunge twist. So you want to squeeze your inner thighs together to find support here underneath you. You can always drop down to your back knee if you need to focus on the twist. So she's not collapsing here into her shoulder, she's pressing up and out, gazing up at the right fingertips. If it doesn't strain your neck, if it hurts, just keep the gaze down. And you want to focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together behind you so you're rotating the heart open towards the sky. Really nice. So you can stay down on your back knee and bring the right palm, come down to your back knee. Bring the right palm on top of the right knee and just gently press the right knee open. So again, we're opening up the hips here. And you can keep that twist in the upper body, twisting from above the navel. And when you're ready, return to low lunge. Sorry. Send your low lunge. Oh. That's okay. And we flow through chaturanga, high to low plank from your knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Just savor that back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice work so far. Inhale, lift the left leg high. And exhale, low lunge. We're going to keep the right palm planted this time. Reach up through the left fingertips. So immediately she's rotating the heart open. You can see rotating the ribs up and out towards the sky as well. So she's staying active here through this arm that's supporting underneath her, and she's staying active all the way out through these fingertips as well. You can drop down to your back knee and place the left palm on top of the left knee. Find a gentle opening again across the hip. Rotating from above the navel again. Just kind of savor the stretch for a moment, and then you can move on, returning to low lunge. Send your front foot to meet your back, and flow through chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale up, and exhale, downward facing dog. So just take a moment here. Inhale, fill up. And exhale. Let it go. Just Put the fingers really wide again. Press your heart towards your thighs. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. We're going to stay lifted on the back toes this time. So squeeze the inner thighs together to prepare for crescent pose. Inhale, Vinyasa, crescent pose, high lunge. So she rises up and her heel, back heel, stacks directly over her toes. Her front knee stacked directly over her ankle. Pinkies are rotated in, shoulders are relaxed. And exhale, open up, warrior two. So the back heel spins down. So the knife edge of your back foot is parallel to the edge of your mat. Shoulders are stacked directly over your hips, and you're reaching out in opposite directions through fingertip to fingertip. Again, the knees stacked directly over the ankle here. So take a moment to get into this lunge. The gaze is honed just past her fingertips. So find a really strong center of focus. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Place your forearm on top of your thigh. Reach up and out through the left fingertips. Again, keep the gaze up at the fingertips if this doesn't straighten your neck. If it does, you can keep it down. Sorry, I'm making you wobble. So her right side body is still engaged, so her ribs are lifted away from her thigh. Inhale, reverse warrior. Keep that deep bend here in the front knee. And the right arm reaches up and then back, so as if you're high-fiving someone behind you. Again, feeling the stretch from your hip crease all the way through your fingertip. And exhale, float through chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale up, and exhale, downward facing dog. Really beautiful flow so far, doing great. Keep breathing. If you have lost your breath at this point, then come down to child's pose before you move any further. Return to your breath, pause this video. If you're still with us, then let's keep going. Inhale, your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Inhale, rise, crescent pose. So tailbone sinks down. And your right leg is actively engaged, so it's pressing the right hip forward, and you're pulling your left hip back, so your hips are directly square in front of you. Crown of the head extends up and out. Exhale, spin open, warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. So press evenly into the outside edges of both feet. This helps to externally rotate your inner thighs open. So your thighs are rotating open this way. Again, a really, really strong focus. I challenge you here to really channel your inner warrior. And inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Spin open. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you rotate the chest open. And inhale, reverse warrior. Freeze the front leg. Reach up and then back. And exhale. Windmill the palms, pointing them into your mat and flowing through chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. So now we're going to flow through this series one more time on each side. And we're going to be flowing breath to movement here. So we'll be moving it just a little bit faster. So inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, spin open, warrior two. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, windmill the palms down to the mat and flow through chaturanga. Inhale up, and exhale, downward facing dog. Flow again, inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, spin open, warrior two. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, windmill the palms. Flow through chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale up. Take a moment here in the back bend and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a round of breath here. Taking a moment to fill up and let it go. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come down to a seat. We're going to do a quick core section here. So you need to take a sip of water here or towel off, it's fine. When you're ready, Leah's sweating, okay guys, so this is a workout. But take it at your own pace, okay? If you need to pause here, totally pause. If you're with us, then let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Leah's with us. Okay, so from your back, come to a reverse tabletop. So you're going to stack your hips or your knees over your hips. Your shins are parallel to your mat. Bring your fingertips behind your head. So your elbows are out wide, out of your peripheral vision. Inhale to prepare, drop the left leg to hover just a couple inches. And as you exhale, twist your left elbow to meet your right knee. Inhale back to center. And exhale, twist open over to the right. Or the left, I'm sorry. With the right elbow. Inhale, center. And exhale, alternate. So it's alternate knee to elbow. Inhale for center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. So you want to focus, like Leah's doing here, on bringing your elbow to your knee, so your knees do not move to meet your elbows. So give me 2 more on each side. Last one. And release. And you can hug into a ball here. Just give your low spine a nice massage, rolling back and forth on the mat. Now return to reverse tabletop. Knees are stacked over the hips again. So shins are parallel to your mat. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows wide. Inhale to prepare, tap your toes to your mat. And as you exhale, curl into a tight ball so your knees come to meet your elbows. Inhale, tap. Exhale, curl and squeeze. Inhale, tap. Exhale, curl and squeeze. So continue moving through these. Take it at the pace of your own inhales and exhales. Inhales as you tap. Exhale as you curl and squeeze into a tight ball. Last one. And release. Again, you can hug yourself into a ball, or maybe you take a pencil stretch. Full body stretch, stretching across the abdomen. And then bring the soles of the feet together to touch, coming into reclined bound angle pose. So from here again, you're going to bring the fingertips behind the head. Elbows are wide. Inhale as you prepare, seal the entire length of your spine into your mat. And exhale, lift. So it's inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So imagine that there's a string tied to your chin to the ceiling. You can keep going. So you want to, how Leah's doing, her chin lifts rather than crunching in, she's lifting. So the entire core is engaged here as you lift and lower. Lift and lower. Beautiful. So again, inhales lower, exhales lift. Really nice. Give me 2 more. Last one. And release. Hug the knees up into your chest. And when you're ready, rock and roll along the length of your spine. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. So from downward facing dog, take a moment here, take a breath. Notice now how the body feels a little different in this pose, now in this moment than it did at the beginning of class. Alright, so in pigeon pose, this can be a really intense hip opener. And like I mentioned before, you know, the hips are really a center of emotional energy, especially in our bodies as women. So it's nice to just come into this pose, and even though it can be difficult to hold for a long time, just breathe through it. With your inhales, imagine that you're sending breath to those parts of your hips that feel really tight. And as you exhale, just visualize releasing whatever is no longer serving you, whatever built up negative energy that may be stored here in your hips, just let it go with your exhales. As you're ready, you can begin to walk yourself back up. Lift up into your back toes, send your right leg to 3-leg down dog, shake it out for a minute. Bring the blood flow back into that leg. And then come to down dog. Lift the left leg high. Exhale, pigeon pose, left knee behind left wrist. And again, shimmy that back leg long and straight behind you. You can even take a quick peek over the left shoulder, and this helps to naturally square the hips forward. And proud pigeon, so bring the fingertips out to the outside edges of the hips, straight chest, long straight spine, and a proud chest, sticking the chest out. Inner thighs squeeze together as you go ahead and sleep your pigeon. Just keep the legs engaged underneath you. This helps to protect some of the sensitive joints here. So you can allow your forehead to rest on the mat, maybe stay lifted on the forearms. And again, visualize with your inhale, sending breath to your hips, breathing in cleansing, purifying breath, and exhale, releasing whatever is no longer serving you, releasing anxiety, and stress, and doubt, and fear, just letting all of that go. As you're ready, press yourself back up, lift up into the back toes, send the left leg back to 3-leg down dog, then shake it out. Hello. Yep, open the hip and just bring the blood flow back to this foot, back to the leg. And return to downward facing dog. Now inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, come all the way down to a seat. Extend your legs long and straight out in front of you. You want to kind of remove the fleshy parts from the sit bones out from underneath you. So get a nice grip on the mat. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold over the legs. You can keep the knees bent if you need to here. You're reaching for the soles of your feet. Whatever's accessible, maybe that's your ankles or your shins. Just get a good grip so you can pull the crown of your head towards your toes. So again, lengthening through the spine here. You can even imagine as you're pulling the crown of your head forward, you can visualize your spine just expanding and growing. You can let your forehead rest down towards your shins too if that feels nice. Sometimes that feels really good in the back of the neck. And inhale, slowly rise back up to the top. You can take a wide leg fold here, so spread the legs out wide, just as wide as they can go comfortably. Inhale again, long straight spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. So get a nice grip on the ground with your fingertips and use this as leverage to pull your chest closer towards your mat. Try to keep your both sit bones anchored into your mat. Inhale, rise up to the top. And bring the feet back together. And come to laying down on your back. Keep the heels up close, right behind your glutes, and your arms are out on either side of you. Fingertips graze your heels. As you inhale, press into your heels to lift your hips up to the sky. Bridge pose. Now you can shimmy your shoulders closer together underneath you, and it creates a nice shelf for your heart. And you can interlace your fingers too underneath your low spine like Leah's doing here, and reach your knuckles towards your heels. Now release the bind if you took one, unshimmy your shoulders back into your mat, and come up to your tiptoes, and then slowly articulate your spine back down to your mat. Here you can take Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. Soles of your feet come together to touch. You can take a moment here, placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. It's just a nice moment to take for yourself, to lovingly hold yourself, and to just reconnect to the breath. Feeling the heart and the belly rise with every inhale, and fall again with every exhale. Just take a moment here to tell yourself, I love you. It's super important. So as you're ready, pull your knees back into your chest. And come into happy baby pose. So stamp the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. And again, you want to get a good grip, so if you can get them on the soles of your feet, that's great. But maybe it's your calves or ankles, whatever you can get to pull your knees down towards your side bodies. And you want to try to keep the entire length of your spine all the way down to your tailbone sealed into your mat. Maybe you find a nice gentle sway. In Sanskrit, this literally means blissful baby. So just connect to a sense of bliss here in this pose. And as you're ready, release, hug both knees into your chest. Keep the right knee hugged up and in towards your right armpit. Allow the left leg to fall down to your mat. As you inhale, hug the knee up. And as you exhale, guide the right knee over to the left side of your mat. And keep the hips stacked right on top of each other. You can bring the arms out to a T, gazing over at the right fingertips. This completes the spinal twist. This is really nice to take in the mornings especially, because it helps to kind of stimulate the metabolism, the digestive system, rinsing the internal organs. So you want to keep the right shoulder blade sealed into the mat. As you inhale for length, and exhale, surrender into the twist. Inhale, return to center. Hug both knees back into the chest to realign your spine. Squeeze into a really tight ball here. Just give yourself a hug full of love and gratitude for taking this time to meet yourself on your mat. As you exhale, release into Savasana, corpse pose. So there's no more effort here, only surrender. Just practice releasing any tension that may still be lingering in the body. Starting in the face, unclenching the jaw, relaxing the brow. Just return to a natural rhythm of breath here. Just allowing every muscle to relax, melt into the mat beneath you. soaking in all these benefits that you've worked so hard for. Just imagine your exhales rolling down your body past your feet. And any anxieties, or fears, or doubts just rolling away with them. So we encourage you to stay in Shavasana really for as long as you have, 2 to 5 minutes at the least.